So when you're getting started with Datameer, I highly recommend that you start out by setting properties which will let you categorize any asset inside of Datameer, from databases to schemas to tables and even individual columns. I recommend at a minimum that you create properties for projects. So the place to do that is admin, and we're going to look at some properties that I've created for a customer that I'm actually setting up right now. So if we go and edit our first property, this is a Boolean. And the first one that I always create is one called third party. And it's a Boolean that really indicates, is this project being used to provide third party information? If you want to make it more descriptive, you certainly can. I also add an information category. So you can see this is a drop down where I have originations, funding, and portfolio management. I usually keep a line of business, which indicates which line of business we're building data assets for. By default, they provide a status. So there is no status for projects. So that's something I usually need to add. So we'll add a project status. I'll add a single line item, and then we'll call this working, beta, and production. Now, typically, these designations are more intended for data assets, and for that, Datameer actually provides a built-in status for data sets that you produce, which I find extremely useful. So let's go and see what these properties look like and where we access them. If I go into projects, on the project screen, Datameer will present all used properties. So in this case, I've applied these properties to this project. And this project is where I'm doing my work preparing my data assets. If I go into the project, you'll see at the project level, this is where I set my individual properties. So you can see this, for example, maybe I'm in a working status. So any number of properties can be set. You also have this concept of tagging that Datameer provides. So in addition to tags, we also have description, which I highly recommend. Datameer, like any data and analytics product, is always in the process of sprinkling AI. And so anywhere where you have the opportunity to inject context, you definitely want to do that. And certainly a description of what you're building is going to be very useful for anybody who comes in and approaches your data model. That should be a great starting point and have you working in the right direction to be very organized and structured moving forward.